best approach is to do as he asks. In starting, we acknowledge the Turrbal people, the traditional custodians and First Nations peoples of these lands and waterways that we know as Nudgee. We acknowledge their elders, the law of the land, and their traditions dating thousands and thousands of years. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a great day to celebrate today. We acknowledge the academic achievements of our top students in years 5, 6, 7 and 8 today, and we'll acknowledge the academic outcomes of senior students, the rest of the college next week. Also, though, we celebrate with our Term 2 sporting activities in congratulating the Team Man Award winners for football and for tennis. So it's a great day of celebration today. We'll also hear from our Year 12 students who are leading us in our Wellbeing Week, and a great job they're doing there. And it'll be great to hear their reflections on that today. And we'll even hear from our performing arts sector, and we'll listen to a musical presentation. So there's a great rounded day for our assembly today, as always. So let us begin straight away with prayer.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. In his letter to the Ephesians, St. Paul wrote, "I have not stopped thanking God for you. I pray for you constantly, asking God, the glorious Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, to give you spiritual wisdom and insight so that you might grow in your knowledge of God. I pray that your hearts will be flooded with light so that you can understand the confident hope he has given to those he called, his holy people, who are his rich and glorious inheritance." Today we celebrate the academic achievements of many of our brothers. May we also remember that learning and knowledge are not commodities to purchase, but the path to wisdom and a gift from God.
Holy wisdom, open my eyes to bask in your beauty. Open my mouth to speak tenderly. Open my heart to feel your unconditional love. Holy wisdom, may I be your image in the world. Amen. Leave Jesus in your hearts. In the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Amen.
Welcome back, Mr. Fulliger, and good morning to staff, students and parents, both online, around the college and at home, and here in the Christian Brothers Conference Centre. We've had to change things a little bit this morning, so please bear with us, be patient, but I'm sure we'll be able to celebrate our gold, silver and bronze awards today. Just a few remarks from me before we present our recipients. And last week, Mr. Johnston lamented that speaking last at assembly is sometimes difficult because all the student and teacher voices that precede him express what we do at Nudgee so well. But I think that's a strength, that we talk about the same ingredients that lead to success. There's a consistency, we're complementary, we're unified. Also notable is that when we take that path to success, we do so humbly by being Signum Fidei. And our learning journey is no different. We also want success and to care for others as we do so in the classroom. So I've taken a bit of inspiration from others and drawn ideas from what I've seen and heard from students and teachers over the past week. And even during prayer, Andrew Torres spoke about wisdom. Once again, that same unified, consistent message. So what do these GPS activities photos have to do with learning? And the answer is community. Last Saturday was a wonderful day. I really enjoyed it. But beyond the results or your love of a particular sport, what stood out to me was a unified community. So you may have scored 44 points for the first 5, or you may have merely picked up some rubbish from the grandstand as you left without being asked because you take pride in your college. These things unify our community. So Nudgee is nothing if we are not first and foremost a learning community. and to be a great learning community, to achieve the success that we crave, I've taken some inspiration from some other people who spoke. Head of Rugby, Mr. Sean Graham, said we don't cut corners and we focus forward. Let's do that with our learning. Also, our Head of Chest, Mr. Martin Harmon, spoke about discipline as a key ingredient required for success. Each of us has a responsibility to take control of our own learning journey. I think I've got a slide there for you, Raoul, somewhere. We want to be successful learners. If we want to be successful learners, we must work on building community in all that we do and all that we say and all the care we show each other in the classroom. As Mr. Johnston said last week, we should embrace the gift that we've been given and make every moment count. The greatest gift Nudgy will give you is an education. Let's think in different ways like our habits and mind teach us to and make every lesson count. Lastly, Harry Rawadi reminded me last week at Assembly of a metaphor I used about learning, and I reminded Year 12 as well again last week, so it's the third time you've heard it, boys. Won't hurt you. It's that idea of getting into orbit. Takes a lot of energy to get moving. We need to use a lot of fuel to get ourselves up into the sky. So we need to make those big steps in our learning journey right now, not when things are due in a month, because learning's more about than what's due or what assignment you got. It's about making every lesson count, and that starts today, if not last week, one hopes. So you're going to need support to do that. Who's going to help you get up into orbit? Your teachers are a very good start, and you taking control of your journey is another good start. But what Harry did to extend that narrative is he warned us about falling out of orbit. And that's the challenge for today. Have we fallen out of orbit over the holidays? Have we not decided to get back into orbit yet? Have a little bit of a think. The people you'll see presented today certainly have been in orbit, and I would say they're probably staying in orbit at the moment. So that's our challenge, is to get into orbit and stay there. And just like the consistency of our message each week at Assembly, that's how we'll remain open to continuous learning. At this point in time, I'd probably say thank you very much, but we have, unfortunately, Harry Blackmore is away, so I'm going to do the next part before I start presenting our recipients. So just a reminder of the criteria for our gold, silver and bronze medal winners. So the semester one results for these students have been determined, so bronze awards, silver awards and gold awards, you can see them there on the screen. They're the criteria, a majority of A's in their report card. So congratulations to all of those boys. I would like to invite Mr. Fulliger to the stage now, please. And I would also like to invite Lachlan Barrett to move forward to read out the bronze recipients and silver and gold recipients in Year 5 and 6. But I would also say that please bear with Lachlan. There might be a few absences that are 11th hour that we have to just check as we move through our list. Thank you very much.
Good morning, Mr. Fulliger, special guests, parents, staff, and my fellow Nudgy students. It is my privilege to present the academic awards to students in Years 5 and 6 today. Please hold your applause until the end. In Year 5, the Bronze Award recipients are Fred Guppy, Sam Hall, Cooper Henderson, Vaughan Jenkinson, James Manning, and Archie Stoneman. Can we please congratulate our Year 5 bronze medalists? In Year 5, the Silver Award recipients are Finn Andrews, Dehane Jewage, Nate Moore, Janav Patel, Max Watson, Jack Wilkins, and Will Zillman. Can we please congratulate our Year 5 silver medalists? In Year 5, the Gold Award recipients are Matthias Beckers, Sebastian Geinitz, Jack Hilton, Stephen Mineo, George Mitchell, Diesel Piper, and Xavier Whisker. Absent. Can we please congratulate our Year 5 gold medalists? And now in Year 6, the Bronze Award recipients are Thomas Carroll, Ethan Dahl, absent, Hugo Jobber, Charlie Jones, who's absent today, Finn Oliver, Patrick Story, and Hamish Tucker. Can we please congratulate our Year 6 bronze medalists? In Year 6, the Silver Award recipients are Duke Moore, Rahul Padmanabhan, and Scott Sibra. Can we please congratulate our Year 6 silver medalists? And finally, in Year 6, the Gold Award recipients are Joshua Andrews, Spencer Blake, Darcy Cotter, absent, Apay Daliwal, Marcus Grian, William Heaton, Flynn McDarmond, Ashley Overs, and Oxton Seed. Can we please congratulate our Year 6 gold medalists? I would now like to welcome my fellow studies prefect, Elliot Brown, to the stage to present the awards in Years 7 and 8.
Good morning, Mr. Fulliger, special guests, parents, staff, and men of Nudgee. It is my privilege to present the academic awards to students in Years 7 and 8. In Year 7, our Bronze Award recipients are Sydney Bates, Daniel Carey, Patrick Cruz, who is absent today, Thomas Hatter, Caleb Hopsick, who is absent today, Jaden Jalila, and Harvey Kasprowicz, who is absent today. Can we please congratulate our first group of Year 7 bronze medalists? Also receiving award for a bronze award in Year 7 is Sebastian Matusi, Oliver McDonald, Mackenzie Mullins, Isaac Newman, Ruben Rayner, and Noah Chunwa. Can we please congratulate our Year 7 bronze medalists? In Year 7, the Silver Award recipients are Lewis Abdi, Hugh Baxter, Peter Beckers, Thomas Chappell, Henry Geiss, Alexander Jones, and Santiago King Scott. Can we please congratulate our first group of Year 7 silver medalists? Also receiving an award in Year 7 is William Kisby, Suhan Lashand, Owen McGregor, Keenan McLean, Dilshan Sidhu, Oliver Smith, and Jack Wells, who is absent today. Can we please congratulate our Year 7 silver medalists? In Year 7, our Gold Award recipients are Gurman Buller, Harper Cameron, James Carroll, Jeho De Geer, Joshua Gaynitz, Tobias Grant, and Liam Hughes. Can we please congratulate the first group of our Year 7 gold medalists? Also receiving a golden award in Year 7 is Kai Istria, who is absent today, Ryan Cartney, who is also absent today, Troy Lee, Edward McDonald, James Newbecker, and Daniel Simpson, who is absent today. Can we please congratulate our Year 7 gold medalists? In Year 8, the Bronze Award recipients are Ethan Cockburn, Fabian Cowell, Andre De Clara, Sam Duffy, Ethan Easton, Cooper Galt, Reese Griffiths, and Roman Jones. Can we please congratulate our first group of Year 8 bronze medalists? Also receiving a bronze award in Year 8 is Harrison McIver, Max Malloy, Jeremy Pays, Antoine Roberts, who is absent today, Ben Sands, Sam Talon, Flynn Toomey, and Jacob Webb. Can we please congratulate our Year 8 bronze medalists? In Year 8, our Silver Award recipients are Jackson Gosney, Caleb Lloyd, Nicholas Phillip, Eddie Power, who is absent today, Grady Whisker, who is also absent, and Baxter Witteveen. Can we please congratulate our Year 8 silver medalists? In Year 8, our Gold Award recipients are Ethan Andrews, Jacob Brown, who is absent today, Jack Burton, William Dallimore, Jeremy Deacon, Michael Donovan, Andrew Emery, who is absent today, Matthew Fuller, and Edward Jerry. Can we please congratulate our first group of Year 8 gold medalists? Also receiving a gold award in Year 8 is James Gray, who is absent, Spencer Green, Cooper Keeley, Tom Cooley, Angus Kovac, Max Lazzarini, Brodie Martin, Vincent Maravecca, and Timothy Nash. Can we please congratulate our Year 8 gold medalists? Now, can we please congratulate all of our Year 5, 6, 7 and 8 academic award recipients? Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Fulliger, special guests, senior staff, colleagues, parents, and Nudgee men. This morning, I have the pleasure of announcing this year's Team Man Awards for football from Term 2. Congratulations to all boys who represented Nudgee on the football field. Of course, we welcomed our new Year 5s and hope they enjoyed their first season of Nudgee football. To the Year 12s who experienced their last season of representing the mighty blue and white, we thank you for your contributions over the years. I'm sure you will hold on to the memories of that last-minute victory on Ross Oval, that top corner strike into that goal, or the goal-saving tackle on flat 10. Most of all, we hope that you hold on to the teammates and friendships you have made over the years and hope to see you back as coaches for the program in the near future. Looking back at the season that was, it was great to see all boys enjoying their involvement in football in the company of their Nudgee brothers. Nudgee scored a lot of goals this season and won a lot of football matches. However, what was more important and impressive was the spirit these games were played in. The players I'm about to read out were the epitome of this Nudgee spirit for their representative teams this season, demonstrating the values of commitment, courage, sportsmanship, and most of all, teamwork. I would like to welcome Mr. Fulliger to the stage to assist with recognising our Football Team Man Awards. Congratulations to the following Nudgee team men. 5A, Archie Stoneman. 5B, Sebastian Guinance. 5C, Miguel King-Scott. 5D, Arle Rita White. And from Year 6, 6A, Archie Dean. 6B, William Heaton. 6C, Timothy Lowe. 6D, Flynn McDermott. And 6E, Didi Intarkampol. Can we please congratulate our Year 5 and 6 award winners? Now on to Year 7 and 8. From 7A, Sean Watson. 7B, Sebastian Machusi. 7C, Santiago King-Scott. And 7D, Isaac Newman, who is away today. From Year 8, 8A, Tom Cooley, who is again away. 8B, Ben Summers. 8C, Ethan Rule. And 8D, Luke Hardingham. Can we please congratulate our award winners from Year 7 and 8? From Year 9, 9A, Lewis McGrory. 9B, Jordan Cordingley. 9C, Jack Ezzy. 9D, Diego King-Scott. 9E, Patrick O'Driscoll. From Year 10, 10A, Kian Higgins, who is absent. 10B, Ryan Crow. 10C, Riley Doherty. 10D, Akira Chen. 10E, Kai Dawan. And 10F, Patrick Hill-Lewis. Can we please congratulate our award winners from Year 9 and 10? From Year 11, 11A, Alex Ward. 11B, Brody Navarro. 11C, Alistair Dunlop. 11D, Oliver Schuster. 11E, Kyle Brady. 11F, Jack Wise. From the second 11, Nate Preen. Third 11, Oscar Keith. Fourth 11, Al McEwen. Fifth 11, Henry Zaytoon. And sixth 11, Oliver Thornton, who is absent today. Can we please congratulate our award winners from Year 11 and 12?
Good morning, Mr. Fulliker, staff, parents, and men of Nudgee. Unfortunately, Mr. McGuinness, our tennis director, is unable to be with us today, so it gives me great pleasure to announce the 2022 Best Team Man Awards for tennis on his behalf. This season we saw a continued increase in player numbers within the program of tennis, despite the weeks of rain which resulted in a number of training sessions and GPS fixtures being cancelled. The boys continued to show commitment and dedication to the sport and should be commended for this. The first four had another great result, coming second overall for the second year running. We'll continue to knock on the door and work hard and try to go one better next year. That being said, preparation for the 2023 GPS tennis season is already underway, and if you are keen to get involved, please reach out to Mr. McGuinness. The recipients of the awards today have been selected because they managed to do all the little things right. These men listened to their coaches, they turned up to every training session on time, always gave 100%, exhibited great sportsmanship throughout the tennis season. These little 1%ers are what makes Nudgee tennis so successful. Can I please invite Mr. Fulliger to the stage again, and we'll just hold our applause for every second year level. Award winners for Year 5, 5A, Alex Page. 5B, Jack Kaylee Northcott. 5C, Oscar Woolno. 5D, William O'Brien. 6A, Spencer Blake. 6B, Pat McEwen. 6C, Luke Finn. And 6D, Liam Mawson, who is absent. Please congratulate our Year 5s and 6s. Seven A, Tom Chappell. 7B, Aidan Horan. 7C, Harrison Hadwin, who is absent, and 7D, Byron McGuinness. 8A, Spencer Green. 8B, Jacob Tucker. 8C, Jeremy Pace. 8D, Jordan Watson. Please congratulate our award winners. 9A, Davis Sturrock. 9B, Andrew LaMonica. 9C, Ben Goggin. 9D, Bill Deeren. 10A, Matt Walker. 10B, Liam McBride. 10C, Jacob Turner. And 9 and 10 award winners. (11A), Dean Defritos. 11B, Oliver Johnston, who is away. 11C, Ginjero Seto. And seconds, Des Cowley. Please congratulate all our award recipients.
Good morning, college leadership team, staff, parents, and my fellow Nudgy brothers. This week, the college will be recognising Mental Wellbeing Week. Although this should be an important part of life and recognised every day, it's important having a week specifically talking about this. In today's society, young men have been convinced that they shouldn't talk about how they feel or how they are doing. Research finds that 38% of men do not talk to others about their feelings, and almost 3 in 10 have never shown emotion or cried in front of others. Boys, I'm here to tell you otherwise. I'm here to tell you it's okay to not be okay. If you haven't already noticed, the tree near the Learner Centre has been painted blue as part of the Blue Tree Project. The Blue Tree Project's mission is to help spark difficult conversations and encourage people to speak up when battling mental health concerns. During PC on Thursday, boys will be given a heart-shaped card and asked to write a heartfelt message on it for it to be hung around the spirit tunnel and on the blue tree. This is our way of expressing we are comfortable to talk about our tough times. Along with themed activities happening all throughout this week in the library. The Year 12 cohort has also been wearing hearts on their sleeve to help spread awareness on the matter. So, if you're ever feeling down or unwell, remember that you can talk to your PC tutors, house deans, and especially the Nudgy brothers sitting beside you, as they will always be there for you. Do not be afraid to speak to others about how you feel. We encourage you to wear your heart on your sleeve. We encourage you to start a conversation. Thank you.
Did you know 1 in 5 Australians experience mental illness in their lifetime, typically beginning in their teenage years?
Suicide is the second leading cause of death for young people aged 15 to 24.
62.9% of young men are worried what other people might think.
And 61.7% thought the problem would get better by itself.
Men are at a greater risk of suicide, but least likely to seek help.
We want to improve our mental wellness by encouraging these conversations with our Nudgy men. This week, we are wearing our heart on our sleeve.
Sometimes I get overwhelmed while trying to balance school, extracurricular activities, and family life, but I'm comfortable sharing this.
I always aim to make the best team, but sometimes that isn't enough. But I'm okay to talk about this.
The pressure that comes with needing to achieve highly makes me feel uneasy and stressed at times, and I'm okay to tell you this.
It's very hard being looked at or treated differently because of my skin colour or any other way I look, but I'm okay talking to my mates about it.
I struggle with missing home and missing my family when I'm in boarding. It is a struggle to be away from my family and friends, but I am okay to seek help.
At times, I've struggled both on and off the field with my concussions, but I know it's okay to seek help.
We are encouraging conversation about mental well-being this week, mate to mate.
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 Wear your heart on your sleeve.
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 We encourage you to talk about your feelings. We encourage you to start a conversation.
Good morning, Mr. Fulliger, CLT, staff, parents and Nudgee College men, in person and online. I'd like to carry on from Akot and his excellent presentation on mental wellbeing to show you how some of the activities in my world can assist you. For every single one of you, listening to music is an accessible form of therapy. Classical music is a winner at helping you focus. Music that has a tempo of 60 beats per minute increases the efficiency of the brain in processing information. The best way to use it is to have it playing softly in the background as you get on with your tasks. Lo-fi and slow EDM can also help with this. The next time you're finding it hard to talk about or express your emotions, try turning to music for help. Creating your own music, whether simply strumming a guitar or composing lyrics to a song, can help you express and process your emotions. It's more about how it makes you feel and how it sounds, and no one ever has to hear your music if you don't want them to. Music can stop you from feeling lonely or isolated, whether it's sharing playlists with your friends, joining a music team, or meeting people at a live music gig. Music connects people, and don't forget that Rock Band 1 are playing in Edmund Rice Hall at lunch on Thursday. Did you know that listening to or making music allows your brain to think creatively? So whether it's a creative project you need to complete or some new ways to improve your mood, try some different types of music and see what works best for you. It's not a huge scientific breakthrough, but it's worth repeating that music helps you relax. So if you choose the right kind of music, change into your Oodie and slides, always with socks, it's a safe bet that you'll feel relaxed in no time. And if you need to study, clean your room, get some exercise, but can't just get off the couch, use your favourite music as a motivational force. Crank up the volume on a killer tune and chances are you'll find it that much easier to get started. And a challenge, which my Year 8 SF class are already working on, choose one of these categories and make a playlist of 4 to 5 songs to use yourself and share with a mate. Here's how different arts activities have helped some of the people that you've met. Drum major Lockie Caldwell physically plays music as an outlet in helping with stress and anxiety. When he's stressed, he plays drums or piano to get his mind off what he's worried about. Arts prefect Baxter Georges finds drama and performing to be a very therapeutic process, allowing him to take a step back and live in another world and not have to worry and stress about anything else. He describes it as being like a deep breath and a step away from reality or problems. Chess captain and current title holder for most tense game of chess played in 2022, Patrick Kennedy, believes it's very important that everyone can escape the stresses of their academics, sport and relationships for at least a few moments a week. One great escape is chess. Playing a game takes his focus from the thought of all that is going on in his life and brings it to one thing, the game. Within a few seconds of starting, the only idea in his mind is on how to win, and it takes him away from worries and anxieties, and he finds himself happy and calm. An arts captain and artist, Tom Sands, finds that art plays a role in maintaining his mental health as it helps him relax during stressful times, taking focus away from larger things going on. As you continue to think about different ways you can improve your mental well-being, I would like to welcome today's performer, Year 10 student and Rock Band 1 star Daniel Rostron. Dan plays the bass guitar, the most important instrument in the band, but one that is quite often happily hiding up at the back. Playing on this stage is the most daunting performance you'll ever do, and to get up by yourself takes a huge amount of guts, so please make Dan welcome as he performs Viva Tarantino.
Viva Tarantino. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, good morning. Thank you, parents who are still here with us, and for those who are online, students across the campus, staff likewise, to the boys who are here and staff who are here in the hall. It's terrific to be back with you. Year 12 boys, good morning, men. Boys, just sit up, please, and let's finish off assembly really well, because it's been a terrific assembly today. It may be a little delayed by a week or so, but can I make a special word of welcome to those new boys who have joined us at the start of Term 3, and also the new staff who are around the school at the moment. You are very, very welcome. Well, you will all know that I wasn't here last week. I think Mr. Cannellan and Mr. Johnson both referenced my absence and the fact that I was feeling a little frustrated. ACOT's talked about expressing your feelings. They said that Mr. Fligger was a little disappointed. Well, to be absolutely honest with you boys, that was not true. I wasn't a little disappointed. I was bitterly disappointed to be not here last week and be part of all that happened in the first week of term. But there's a lesson in all of that for me, and perhaps for you if you choose to tune into that lesson. And I've done a lot of preparation in the holidays. I've met with Mr. Johnson several times. I've met with every member of the CLT in the week prior to school during the school holidays. I'd met with them. I'd done my work with the gentleman who I replaced at EREA. I'd spent hours and hours preparing for returning to school. And for those of you who I met on the first day of parent-teacher interviews or on day 2, you might have sensed that Mr. Fulliger looked pretty happy about being here, and that is absolutely true. Mr. Fuller also had a bit of a tickle in the back of his throat, which obviously ended up becoming COVID. So all those plans were thrown out. All those things that I'd done for a couple of weeks to be ready for the start of the school had to be thrown out. And yes, I had to deal with a little bit of frustration. There's far bigger issues in the world for people to worry about than my little concern. But there was a lesson in there that the good Lord or someone was saying to me, well, mate, hang on, you might have plans and intentions, but sometimes other things get in the way. So adapt to that, deal with your own frustrations, get over yourself and deal with what was in front of you, which I guess I have done, and now it's great that I can put that behind me and get on with the term. Perhaps there's a lesson for all of us in what is ahead. If I can reflect on last term for a moment, if I go back to term 2, really term 2 for me was something of a learning experience. I've been in schools for a long time, and someone pointed out at a meeting last night how long that is. It's actually 40 years I've been a school teacher or working in schools, a whole career working in schools. And the first time in my life I worked outside of a school, it was here on the campus, to be fair. It was across the building, just across the road in the McKillop building. But it was the first time I hadn't worked as a teacher in a school. And so it was quite a challenge to be out of my comfort zone, which is being in schools and in particular big boys schools. Doing something different, yes, connected to education. It was a really learning experience for me to do things differently and to change some of the practices that have been well worn over many, many years and over several decades. So I see that as a real learning opportunity throughout that term. It was interesting, of course, being here and present on the campus, though not every day because the job would take me away to other schools. The job would take me off to meetings and the like. And so I was around the school, not up on the top of the school where I would normally be, but down here. So it was interesting to see the school from a different perspective, have a different insight in some of the things that happen around the school. It was also interesting to go and visit other schools and other school communities, and in talking about the role that I was doing, oftentimes the reference was that I was actually the principal of Nudgee College. And to hear people make observations to me about who they thought Nudgee was, what they thought Nudgee was. And again, that was a challenge in some ways, and to challenge sometimes the perceptions of who we are, how people see us. I think our version is sometimes different to the perception that's outside the community. As I've said to you before in assembly, not everybody hears the great array of things that we celebrate and give recognition to at the school. So, having said all that, can I just say thanks to Mr. Johnson in particular for who stepped in the role as acting principal in second term, to Mr. Sepatos, who was acting deputy principal, Miss Webber, who stepped in as the acting dean of students, and Miss Becker as well, who was the acting director of students. To all those good people who took on extra responsibilities and roles over that term to make sure the school went particularly well, and I know it absolutely did. So can I ask you to put your hands together to acknowledge each of those people, please? So again, having looked at week 1 from the outside, looking in, to be honest, and looking in on assembly and making phone calls to people, having people text me and tell me all sorts of things of how school went last week, I can see a couple of things about last weekend. It was a great celebration of community. It was one of the great characteristics of the school. It's one of our values, and it's something that's been here for a long time, boys, is our sense, a deep sense of connectedness, deep sense of belonging to this school. And in some ways, all that happened last weekend, without highlighting anything in particular, but all those events that led up to the weekend, that occurred on Friday night, through the day, Saturday into Saturday evening, was a real celebration of us coming together as Nudgee. We haven't been able to do that in that way for a couple of years because of COVID. Perhaps it was a reason to celebrate even more so. One thing I would like to highlight, and ACOT picked it up at the start of the Assembly, is Wellness Week, a new initiative, something that we haven't done previously before. There's Are You OK Days and other things that we do during the year, but we haven't had a wellness week as we are this year. So I give thanks to all those people who have been involved in leading it and planning it over a long period of time to make it a real celebration. And I love the video for those boys who are part of the video, the way that your peers here acknowledge boys for putting yourself out there. Good job. It's a great message, boys, for us as young men and older men as well, To acknowledge feelings, to be able to express those in appropriate ways with appropriate people is a way to being healthier young men and to be healthier people and to help build a better society. So I encourage you in that way. I can also congratulate all those boys who came up today for the academic winners, the Best Team Man Awards. That was terrific, as always, to be able to celebrate those endeavours, particularly the academics, and I reinforce those boys who perhaps got their first academic medal today. There'll be more to come out next year, some of the older year levels. But the boys, particularly in Year 5, I hope that is an incentive to you to continue to work hard and a sign of how you've embraced the school as well. So that's what's been. Let's look ahead to Term 3. Boys who've been around, Year 12s who've been around me for a little while, and a couple of you asked me, even when you saw me last week, about Term 3 and would I be using that phrase that I've used here for several years. Mr. Sepatos talked about the repeat of messages from time to time. Some of those can be repeated in an assembly, and sometimes we repeat them on an annual basis. And it has been true that I have used that phrase, the Premiership Quarter, to describe Term 3. It's an old phrase. It goes back to AFL days some many years ago. A Premiership coach, David Parkin, used the expression the Premiership Quarter, the third quarter of an AFL game. For us, the third term. And for someone who's been in schools for a long time, I see the critical importance of third term. The start of the year is a long way away. When we come to the start of the year full of new ideas and energy and goals and dreams and ambitions for the year, sometimes they get lost, or we get to the middle of the year and the end of the year seems a long way off. So it's really important that this third term that you remain committed and organised and do those good, implement those good habits. Why? Because I think the third quarter will make a difference to the end result as it does in an AFL game. And you've got some data there on the screen. Third quarter doesn't guarantee you success, but it's a great indicator that you'll be more successful. Teams that win the third quarter on the scoreboard in AFL across those years, over 70% of the time they went on to win the game. So my point to you boys is if we can apply that to this term at school, it can make a difference to the end result when you get that report at the end of Term 4, when Year 12s get their ATAR result, when Year 12s go for those interviews and pathways beyond school. So the question is, what does the third term actually look like? What does it mean, a Premiership Quarter at school? What are we actually talking about? If we could pull that screen up, that'd be great. So what are the key words? Mr. Sepp talked about repeating messages. So unbeknownst to me, he was going to use the make every lesson count today as a symbol at the start when he spoke. It's absolutely true. It's been a mantra that we've used at school here for a number of years as well. Make every lesson count. The lesson that starts the day after assembly today. The lesson that finishes the classes today. The lesson that finishes your school week on Friday this week. Make every one of those moments count. Right? Make the most of what the teacher is offering and what is part of being part of that class. Beyond the immediacy of the class is to remain focused, particularly in this term where there are so many other things going on at school. We can be distracted by what happens on Saturday, be distracted by all those other gatherings that go on throughout the term. You have to remain focused on your schoolwork, on your goals, those dreams, those ambitions, those things in the moment, the things today and next week to prepare for what is ahead in terms of assessment in weeks to come. Be organised, you've heard that before. Find resilience. We will be tested this term. Perhaps you are already. There's a number of boys who are absent. A lot of staff are already absent this term. So you need to be resilient in the face of disappointment and illness and all those things that can occur in the course of a term. And to turn a phrase around, today we've acknowledged the best team man. What you do at sports training, what you do on a Saturday with your team. Can we turn that phrase around, and can you be the best team man in your class? What would it mean to be the best team man in your class? To bring those attitudes of a Saturday into the class. To do your best, to be your best in class. To reach out and help others who might be struggling in class. To cooperate with your teachers. to persist in the face of some disappointing results or persistent when we don't necessarily understand something. To be curious, to challenge your learning. If you're feeling you're on top of something, well, push yourself a little further. Be more curious to learn something more, to learn something of a tangent on what you've been doing in school, to employ those habits of mind in class. All of those things you can do, and you'd have your own technique. They're just a few ideas I have. But how can you be, this very day and this term, how can you be the best team man in your class? How can you make sure that this is the premiership quarter in your class? Boys, my sense already, and it's not just because I've had a few days off with COVID, it's obviously the numbers of staff are already affected. There's boys who are absent today. COVID is in the community. You only have to listen to the news, you read the paper, see what's online. Queensland, South East Queensland, perhaps Australia are all being challenged again. We can take great confidence from the last couple of years. We can be flexible, we'll be adaptable, we'll do that here at school on a day-to-day basis, but you'll need to do that yourself over the next few weeks. But also be sensible about your hygiene and the practices so we minimise the impact. So when we get through this in a few weeks' time, okay, we'll have got through the winter of 2022 and we'll push on into spring. Ill health will be behind us, we hope, and we will make sure that the third term is that premiership quarter. Boys, I'm delighted to be back, but I'm really looking forward to the term ahead. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Mr. Fulliger. Certainly good to have you back. Jen, thanks for your attention today, and a special shout out to the rest of our brothers in PC rooms. We certainly hope that this won't last long, and it's not our preferred option. We are thinking of you in your PC rooms now. Today, with our award winners, our music piece, our mental health wellness promotion and week certainly sends a great message around a couple of attributes that we're so proud of. And today we've been extremely fortunate to see so many role models of attributes such as courage and determination. So a big congratulations to everyone who's been on the stage today. Can I particularly thank our captains, some of our prefects, especially our community prefects, Ms. Kilburn and the DevCom team, Mr. Tuvey for their leadership of our Wellness Week. It's a great initiative, a wonderful way to start, and Mr. Fulliger touched, it's our first crack at this, so certainly we hope that that will grow and progress each year as we run that. Can I thank also our counselling team, and in particular Miss Miller in the library, for the seminars and activities that we've got in the library all week. Gents, keep an eye on the activities across the student notices for you to be involved in throughout the week. Can I give a special plug to the stress management seminar, which will be at lunchtime on Wednesday? Certainly a great opportunity for you to touch base and learn a little bit more about managing our stress through busy times at school. To finish the week, we'll also do an activity in PC on Thursday morning, and our Year 12s will lead that with the PC tutors, so that'll be a great way to finish such a good week. But I just thank the captains again for that video. Certainly an emotional video, and I hope that that's touched you in some way and has an impact to spur you on. It's wonderful that we can have the confidence to be able to talk to someone and get support if we are going through some tough times. So well done to all involved. Mr. Fulliger touched on it quickly about our COVID. Certainly you'll see that we as a community are experiencing an impact. So today we are in support of the Queensland Government's recommendation for schools to look at wearing face masks. So boys, we strongly ask your support in this. It is for your protection of your family members and our staff as well. We want you to be at school and making the most of term 3, so we need to do everything we can to stay well. So our masks will be worn in classrooms. The good news is that you can take those off when you're in the playground and outside. As mentioned last week, we want to be extra vigilant with our hand sanitising and hand washing. Go easy on the high fives and the handshakes for a couple of weeks, and let's see if we can get back to normal as quick as possible. As always, if you have symptoms, then we're asking you to stay home, please. Gents, we move tomorrow to a big event, and we're also conscious of some boys being away, but we're going to push through with our school photos. So please just take note on the screen there of your time slot. There will be PA announcements through the day to remind you. We kick off first thing in the morning with our boarding community at 7:30. Year 12's in the room with us. Please make note that you have a cohort photo, a senior photo at 8:40. Please make sure you're present to that on time. Captains and committee prefects at 9, and then our houses will run, as you can see. The usual focus will be on your excellent grooming, your hair cleanly shaven, top buttons done up, and ties worn well, please. Just to finish, I wanted to also give a reflection on Saturday. What a wonderful day of sport, activity and celebration of community, and especially the celebration of our boarding families. It's great to see so many of our country families make the trek into what was a great day on Saturday. In saying that, some of us were a little rusty with our standards and fell a little bit below our normal high expectations. So can I remind you of our uniform expectations? Saturday is our 6th day, gents. We wear our uniform as proudly on Saturday as we do Monday to Friday. Okay, for the next few weeks it's going to be cold. You need to have a college tracksuit or a nudgy hoodie. Unfortunately, I saw many colours of hoodies on the weekend. Also a reminder about our hats. Please make sure you've got a nudgy rugby cap or a school cap to wear on Saturday. Okay, and one good thing that really stood out was our dress in the grandstand. So well done to all those boys who were in our formals. Reminder that after 1 o'clock we're always in formal uniform. Finally, in a couple of small moments, we let ourselves down in the grandstand that I wanted to touch on this morning. Making noise when the opposition's taking a kick has never been part of our proud history at Nudgee. I don't know if you realised, but TSS didn't make one sound every time Maddox took a kick at goal. A sign of great respect. So I'm asking boys to make sure that we look at that. I'm asking our leaders to stand up for what's right there. We also include the unfortunate BS chant that happened very briefly when the referee made a decision you weren't happy about. Gents, both these are not our standard. They're not the proud tradition and history that we have in our grandstand, so make sure we rectify that for next week. Gents, as I said, a wonderful assembly, and we're going to conclude now with our Year 12 senior boy, Matthew Went, to give 3 cheers.
3 cheers for Mental Wellbeing Week. Make sure to keep wearing your heart on your sleeve and know it's okay to talk to a mate. 3 cheers for all the academic award recipients. Keep working hard, boys. Make every lesson count. 3 cheers for the Team Man Awards. Go on your bringing. And boys, remember it's... Oh, yeah. Boys, remember it's the premiership quarter. Let's make this one loud. Here you go, Lee. Yeah. Here you go, Lee. Yeah. Here you go, Lee. Yeah.
Well done. Thanks, Matthew. Thank you to the parents who have joined us. We ask you to move first. To boys in PC, you can move on that bell to period 2, please. Mr. Carmody, are we doing anything with these chairs?
Yes, please, sir. If we could pack
Okay, so if we could get our senior boys to do the chair packing today, please.